Yay! Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Jewel Loom School Live on March 21st, 2024. My lands time is a passing by. I am so excited you're here. Hey, I'm Juliana, the Jewel Loom Mama, the inventor of the Jewel Loom portable bead weaving loom. And I'm so happy to see everybody coming into the class, as I like to refer to it. I always visualize everyone like hanging out in the halls, waiting to get in. Tonight we have, gosh, so many different things, so many different things that I want to share with you. So I'm working with the Creative Soul Kit from March. It is the It's a Hoot. And I think there's maybe like 5 or 6 kits left. There is a plethora of beads in this kit. And I really wanted to think of something quick and easy to come up with and not necessarily on the loom, but something that you could do right away. And so I've got 3 of those. And then at some point in the ball game here, Joan is going to peek in and she's going to share with you what she has made from the It's a Hoot kit. I mean, these pieces are gorgeous. They're floating all over the Facebook and everyone is complimenting her and resonating with what she made. I am so proud of her for what she designed all on her own, like a big girl. She's like our closet designer, like she'll just come out of nowhere with like really, really great pieces. And so I'm so proud of you, Joan. You did a phenomenal job. And I can't wait for you to be able to show everyone what you made. So listen, tonight I am going to be playing with wire. And so I have a background in wire working with artistic wire, goes way back into probably the late 90s. And so I fell in love with that medium the moment I saw it. And when I look at the beads and when I think about all of the different things we can do, I still gravitate towards the artistic wire, permanently colored copper wire, which actually is with Beadalon now. So pretty cool, right? So you can find all kinds of different gauges. Just a couple things to keep in mind. Here are some notes. You need to understand the sizing on wire. And so, 14 gauge would be really heavy wire. It would be really hard to manipulate. Like 10, 12, and 14 are really great for like outdoor art. My mom actually used 10 gauge wire way back in the day to make life-size humans. And they were, I'm not even kidding you. And they were like a part of the artistic wire booth display. And so it was really, really a sight to see. And then when you are thinking about jewelry and weaving and doing coils, I tend to stay in that 24, 26 gauge area. 22. In fact, I do. Yep. I did grab 22 today. And so again, higher the number, the thinner, right? So if we get into the 30s, what are we talking about? We're talking about hair. 30 gauge is like really cool to crochet and knit with. Laura Mena, like our buddy, beautiful Laura, she used to crochet and knit, and I think she still does with artistic wire. But you'll be up like in the 28s, the 30s, and the 32 gauge. So the lower the number, the thicker, higher the number, the thinner. So that is something to know. There's permanent colored copper wire. There's permanent colored copper silver plated wire, which is the yummy, delicious stuff like what I'm going to be using today. This is an ice blue. It's gorgeous. It's 22 gauge, and I'm going to be making a coil. I'm working with the artistic wire Coiling Gizmo. I do have these, believe it or not, in the shop because I do every once in a while gravitate towards a wire working project. And so I do like to have that. I don't have any wire in the shop, but I have a feeling that there's a lot of you that probably have a lot of stash, right? I know that I was like de-stashing a lot of my wire several months ago. So maybe you even have some of that. I'm going to show you what I did and then we'll get to it. So I made this absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. So this is a pendant. This is one of the porcelain beads that came in the kit. These are some check beads and then some little cute little check beads down here. And so I made the wire bead on the Coiling Gizmo, and then I made all of the wire components and put it all together. But I love this. It's 22 gauge ice blue and 22 gauge rose. So it's the rose gold color, okay? This one. So here are some more notes when you're making coils. You want your gauges to either match in size or the second one to be heavier, all right? I am using 22 and 22, so we're good. If my main color was going to be 22 ice blue, I could take it up a notch and I could do 20 rose gold, or I could do 18. And then your bead just gets more voluptuous. Let me show you a piece. Okay, look at this piece right here. So this is made with the heavier gauge. Don't pay attention to my poor oxidized silver piece. Tammy Hahnemann's probably dying right now. Maybe she'll have something for me to clean it with. I made this necklace. Honestly, this was one of the last necklaces I made on the airplane before 9/11. Yeah. So I used to take all my stuff on the airplane and I would bead and I would wire work. And so this is an example here of a heavier wire bead. Okay. So you could get all kinds of different looks. And I love, love, love using the Coiling Gizmo. The kit does come with 5 different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then depending on which dowel, you use is the size bead that you'll end up with. I'm using this guy. I'm going to go right in the middle. So we're going to use this one. I'm going to put these others to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring you down, and I'm going to be standing. I demonstrated this a bazillion times on jewelry television. So it's been fun to set up for this. Obviously, I don't have the studio people with me. Okay, let me see. I want to make sure we get in here. Oh. Okay. All right. So hopefully, well, let's just see how it goes from here. Okay. So this is the clamp. You get to see my tennis shoes. This is the clamp, and I have it secured to the table. Now I'm noticing a little freezing going on, and so hopefully I'm still okay. Okay. So what I'll do next is I'm going to insert the dowel that I'm working with, okay, the gizmo, the coiling little mechanism here, into the 3rd hole. And then I'm going to start with my first color, which is the ice blue. And again, it's artistic wire, 22 gauge. And I'm working from the spool, all right? So I'm not cutting a piece. I'm actually working. Whoops, got to get this thing off of there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and bring my nylon jaw pliers in. I can't emphasize enough having a pair of these. Where are we at? There we are. And I'm just going to, you know what, Joan, what would happen if you bring up my other one? I'm just wondering if we need both cameras on. Let's see what happens. So yeah, so maybe just a little. So I'm working from the spool, as I said, and I've got the 22 gauge ice blue, and I used the nylon jaws to really help to get those kinks out. Okay. So these are really important. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and let me move this again. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. All right, you can get rid of me, Joan. So I'm going to take the end of the wire. Where's the overhead cameras when we need them? There we go. Okay, cool beans. And you can see the end of the wire right here. I'm just going to take it and wrap it around the top of the handle. Okay, you don't want to do too much, especially if you're working with this nice, more expensive artistic wire because it's the silver plate. And so just, as much as you need to wrap around the handle there. And next, what I'm going to do is I've got the wire, it's down on the ground, and I'm going to place my pointer. Marlon Brando's going crazy right now. Okay, I'm going to place my pointer, and it's laying on top of the dowel. And then I bring in the rest of my fingers, and the wire is like resting on my middle finger and my ring finger. And then I've got my thumb. Okay. And what I do is I just start to use all of that to help feed the wire as I'm pushing forward. And you can see the coil coming together, and you really want to guide it so that the coil is staying nice and tight together. Okay. And so if I find that it's pushing apart, I might stop and then help to redirect it. Okay, so we're just going to push forward, and we're rolling, and I'm guiding, and the wire is actually being fed between my pointer finger, my thumb, and I'm just really watching what I'm doing. This isn't really the activity where you just kind of wing it. Sometimes too, I'll use the edge there to kind of scooch that in. Okay. And so the longer our coil, the bigger the bead. And I'm going to do a coil that is 3 inches long. And we're just going to keep rolling. And so you do want to pay attention, because sometimes if you don't and you think, oh, I'm just going to whip through this and go really fast, your wire could literally start coiling itself back over the coil. And that's not what you want. Okay. So that is why we're taking our time. We're feeding the wire up and over the coil as I'm pushing forward. And again, I want 3 inches. So I'm just going to keep going here. I'm working off of the spool that's down on the ground. Oops, see, I got a little crazy there. And it can happen. It can just happen because, right? And you don't, and sometimes too, like if your wire jumps on itself like that, bring your nylon jaw pliers in and kind of massage that wire down there so that it comes up and over the gizmo in a more straight action. Okay, so I'm going to back out just a little here because this is getting long. And I do want to get that coil a little more tight. So we're just rolling and rolling until we've got about 3 inches. And I do believe that I'm close to being there. So let's bring in the ruler really quick. What do I got? Yeah, I'm going to do a couple more. I'm just shy of a good 3 inches. So let's do a little bit more. Okay. So now that coil is done. And I'm going to bring this up camera a little bit. Where do we need to go? This way? Okay, let's see. So I'm going to bring that out. Okay, and now we're going to undo the little tie that we had. And then we're going to slide that off. We're going to bring in our wire cutters. These are also from Bead. These are my favorites, the blues. I'm going to take the flush side of the cutter, and I want to very carefully just cut that off. All right. And so there's the coil. And I'm just going to let that drop for now, scooch it over. And I'm going to bring in the rose gold, which is absolutely delicious. Now you could reverse this and the main part of your bead could be the rose gold. Whatever look you're trying to achieve is, you know, the first color that you would use. And I use the ice blue first. So I'm going to let that also fall. I'm taking the top here, the ending of the rose gold, and I'm going to put it through that coil that I just made. All right. So now I've got, let me get in the camera here. So there we go. Okay. I got to go a little slower. Camera's a little jumpy for some reason. So you can see that the rose gold went through the ice blue. Okay. And I'm just going to let that coil fall. All right. So it's just going to fall. I'm going to let it go out of my hands. I'm going to take the dowel and slide it back into the holes. And again, I'm just going to secure the end of the rose gold to the handle. And then this time I'm just making like a little baby neck, right? So like maybe, you know, like a 1/4 of an inch. That looks good. And then what I got to do is come down here and I got to find the first coil that I did. And I want to kiss it up to that little piece of coiling that I did. And then I'm going to take the tail, whoops, and I want to wrap that around the coil. All right. And now this is where the magic happens. And I just so feel like the camera needs to be better. So just give me 2 shakes of a leg. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, let me lock this back into place. The Akron mount people hopefully will be at the show because I want to look into some better options. A little bit better? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I've got, remember how I'm going to take my hands, right? So I've got my pointers just kind of like hanging out, resting. My middle finger and my ring finger and my pinky are behind, and my thumb is still over here in the front. And so I'm going to help to guide the coil to go back up onto the coiling gizmo. So we're just very carefully, right? We're just going to start to see it snake itself. And I'm really careful. I'm just guiding the coil up and over, and you can see how it's just like making a little snake type of look here. And then when we get to the end, we want to finish the exact same way that we started. So we'll do like a tiny little coil. Okay. And then we're going to pull that out. And there's our wire bead. Both the rose gold and the ice blue are 22 gauge. So that second color always needs to be equal to or greater than the first color. All right, and so we're going to slide that off. And I'm just going to back up the camera here so that we can get a better, there we go. And hold on, I'm also going to do this. Lord, let there be light. All right, so I'm going to come in with my flush, the flush side, and very carefully I'm just going to nip that off. Okay. And then I'll come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm holding the tail there because I don't want it to fly back up. And then I've got to do the same thing over here. So I want to find out where this started. Whoops. Get back in the camera. Okay. And so there's our wire bead. So it's pretty substantial. You've got two colors that are both 22 gauge. And so you have a very substantial bead. Now, what I like to do is I like to go back to see, because I can feel like this needs to be tucked in with the round nose pliers. I don't want that to scratch my skin or grab a hold of my clothes. And then we can just kind of like scooch that down a little. Yeah, so pretty. Okay. So then what we're going to do, so just let's do a little stage. I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the clamp off. You always want to be careful with that clamp because, you know, you don't want to catch your clothes or your skin with that either. I'm going to pick my wire up from the floor so that I'm not put into wire gel. And we'll just kind of rearrange here a little. I'm just wondering too, let me see. Let me see if this will help with the coloring. There we go. That's a little bit better. And maybe we'll do this. Okay. So let me just pull in. Let me just, once again, I'm going to pull in the finished one. All right. So this was one of the porcelain beads in the kit, and the rest of them were all the check glass. They're just absolutely gorge. Okay. So I've got, it's so hard to like pick. So I've got this really cool porcelain, and then I've got like some of the hearts. I thought that might be cool. What else was I going to use? I was going to use some of these guys. These are also in the kit. So I just used the artistic wire to make, you know, like a head pin. So we're just going to come over here. I'm going to cut off a piece. Full disclosure, as you know, I am in no way, shape, or form the queen of making loops. So please give a girl a break. No judging. I know you all have your way of making loops. I have mine. So let's just call it even. All right, where's my other round nose? Okay, so I first thing I want to do is I want to create a jewel loop. We're just going to call these jewel loops because this is how I do it. So I like to make sure that you can't feel, you know, the end there. And I've just got it holding in, and I go back and forth. I know you all have the way that you do it. Honestly, it's a lot to do with the my wrists too. It's just the way that I can maneuver. So I'm going to get that nice and straight. And I'm going to start with one of these gorgeous, it's almost like a forest green. So rich and pretty. Oh, thanks, Lori. And then I'm going to take this gorgeous, look at how pretty already, just already so pretty, right? So this is one of the porcelain beads. The porcelain beads, by the way, are also coming in the April kit. So there's a whole other color palette for April, and there's more porcelain. So we've got a little green bead. We've got the porcelain. And then what we want to do is we want to feed the wire bead. So we're going to go in through that coil that we made, and we're just going through the middle. Oh, girlfriend, you made it too. Okay, so I made it too short. Here's a little something you can do. You can actually push this in. So let's push it into itself. I might just have to cut a new piece. It won't be the end of the world. Let's see if that helped. It may or may not have. I'm still probably just a little too short. Okay, we're just going to do that again. So we'll use that for something else. And I'm going to cut a longer piece. So let's do that. So this time we'll go really long. Again, I love having the nylon jaw pliers on hand. These ones are from Beadalon. Pretty much, I would have to say that if my tools, most of my tools are all Beadalon. So in case you're wondering, like this is a Beadalon product. The nylon jaw pliers, you know, so. All right, so let's do that again. And we're just going to put a loop. And we'll go back and forth. I want to make sure it's closed though. Okay. And I'm just going to massage it with my fingers. And then we will, where are you at, buddy? String that on. And then we're just going to go ahead and take the ceramic bead. So just doing what we did all over again. And now we got plenty because of course I cut way too much, but that's all right. Okay. And then we're just going to slide that. Now I still am not keen on, let me see. How do I like that? Okay. That's a little bit better because now it looks like it's sitting on top of the bead. There are some discs. Let me bring in these. See, there's like these little disc spacers in the kit. And I think I'm going to grab one of these guys. So let's do that. And we're going to come apart here. I just feel like there needs to be something in between that bead and the wire bead. So the fun thing is that you can, oh yeah, that's so much better. Okay, cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so then, again, let's just kind of massage that out. All right, and we are going to get the cutters again. And I don't need that big of a loop or that big of a loop or that big of a loop. Is that going to be enough? Maybe a hair right there. Okay, so we'll cut that. You know, it's a requirement to talk to yourself when you're beading, right? And then I'm just going to come down here and make a bigger loop. So, you know, you could add this onto leather. You could add it onto some of your silver silk. I know Neely's got some complementary colors that would look really good. I'm just going to bend that back a little. Okay. All right. So let's straighten that out. And then what I did was I just took like a bunch of the pieces of wire and I made just little tiny pieces. So I want the end to be really tiny. So I'm going to use the tip. I actually am going to use these round nose pliers. You could do, yeah, that's hot, Carolyn. I mean, seriously, there's so many. I think the cool thing is just, I don't like the end of that. So hold on, I'm going to do this off camera so I can protect my eyes. Okay. It was feeling a little sharp. So I'm just trying to get like a really tiny end. Of course, this went very well for me off camera. But on camera, it wants to be a little booger. Okay, there we go. Nice. All right. And then I'm just going to grab a heart and I'm going to go through the heart. Okay. And see, those will just like be the little dinglies, the little dingly berries. And I don't really need a big loop, but let's just do that. And then I'm going to come in and we're going to make a loop here. I'm going to keep it slightly open so that I can add it to the bottom. And then we can close that one. Okay. And then you could just do like, that kind of looks nice. This one kind of looks cool with just the one heart. And then you've got this one with 3 different pieces. So, you know, when I think of these, I think, easy, perfect for not only gift giving, of course, like all day long, but if you're doing a boutique style sales, I feel like this would be a really great addition to your table. So like Ileana, if you're, if you're out and about and you've got a table and maybe you just want to have like a great, say $25 item, I feel like this could be it all day long. Again, just attach it to some cording and you could have a bunch of these hanging, and it's very much an impulse buy and it's not really going to cost you a lot, and it's definitely not, I mean, I just did that one in less than 30 minutes and it only took that amount of time because I'm trying to talk and demonstrate. So I really love these, not only for personal use but for gift giving. And again, if you're a jewelry maker, this is that perfect item. It's also not for nothing. If you're selling a really high-end piece of jewelry, what a great gift, right? Just as a thank you, you could like throw one of these in there and it's not going to break the bank. So yeah, so super cool. I love that. I'm okay, so why don't you want to bring in my overhead really quick? I mean my face. Okay. So yeah, look at that. Just two really quick items from the Creative Soul Kit. Super stinking cute. And just remember that the higher gauge because when it comes to numbers, so 22 is thicker than 28. So if you use 20, 22, 18 gauge wire, you're going to have a really substantial, very heavy wire bead. This one is an example, and this is really funky. Okay. This one has got fibers hanging on it. This one, I use 26 gauge. You know what it reminds me of? It's like it's either like a super old vintage teapot or like a lantern. Doesn't it kind of like have like a oh my gosh, what is a Gibson girl kind of vibe? I don't know. I see things. Don't get in my head. Right? Yes. So that is a triple coil. So basically you would take it up and over um one more time. And so yeah, so I love all of these. They're just, it used to be, I mean, I used to do that all the time. Like I was doing this all the time and I loved it. And so it's always really fun for me to like incorporate it back into my world now, because it's very much a part of who I am. And so, yay. Okay. So those are the wire beads. We've got like 3 different examples. I'm totally going to take a really nice photo of all of them. All right. So I'm going to move these over. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, and I'm going to speak to this one really quick because I think it is what it is. I don't want to take up the time because I still want to do the tassels. So I took the owls, okay, the Baltic birch owls that they came in the Creative Soul Kit. All right. And you also got the ear wires. So you had everything you needed. And I was like, I really want to color them because they're so cute. So what I ended up doing was I Googled colorful owls, and a beautiful assortment came up on the screen. And I was like, I found one. Like literally, I wonder if you'll find it too, but it looks just like this one. And I was like, oh, I totally want to do that. So I used my, and by the way, this is what they look like uncolored. So this is how they come in your kit. All right. And I used the artist colors. These are Swiss. This is a really nice set of color pencils. Okay. So I will be at NAMTA this weekend, the National Association for Material Arts Creativation you know, the industry I've been a part of forever. And I definitely will be playing around with paints and color pencils, and I will definitely be sharing my finds. How I got these so shiny, okay, and how I sprinkled 11 O's into his little belly was using Mod Podge. All right. So after I colored, I did, for giggles, I did let that set. I don't know that you have to, but somewhere in my mind, I was like, done coloring, walk away from the color, let them sit for a hot minute, and then come back and do the Mod Podge. I don't know that you needed to do that, but in my mind, it was just like a nugget of like, let them cure kind of thing. I don't know if it's necessary. I did it. Okay. So, and then when the Mod Podge was still wet, immediately after I applied it to the owl, I sprinkled some, excuse me, some 11 O's. Okay. If you had no hole beads, that would even look cool. So I didn't have any handy. Which Mod Podge? Well, Mod Podge is a plaid product, and you will Mod Podge is actually it is a trademark name. It's a brand name. So Mod MOD Podge, Mod Podge by Plaid, and they've been in the industry like for a bazillion years. So great company, right? So colored pencils, Mod Podge, and the Baltic Birch owls. That's how I got these guys. Super cute. Super cute. Okay. So spoke to that. And everybody kind of get that? I mean, I kind of feel like that's a straightforward idea, right? I think so. Okay. I'm just looking. Very cool. All right. Everyone loves them. Mod Podge, dimensional. Yes. Very much like, you know, like, I don't want to say it's like resin, but, you know, it's the look. It's the shiny, dimensional, really cool finished look. I just want to get my wire secured because where's the other one at? Okay. So that is secured. I'm going to get this guy. I'm really, when you're done with this, move it over because you don't want to get all hung up on that. So the other thing that I did was I made some tassels. Now we've had that tassel set with 3 of the same size for quite a while, but we were playing around with some sizing. I'm like falling out of my chair. We were playing around with some sizing for Bellicon. And so Robert sent me 3 different sizes to choose from. And then I was like, oh, we need these. And I added them to the site. Robert sent me the artwork and I added them to the site. So I'm looking for the Jewel Loom tassel set today. And neither one of us ever thought about sending me a set. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Ignore the fact that these say Bellicon. This is not the way you're going to get them, okay? Just get that through. So if you order the tassels, they have the Wisdom Warrior on them. They say Jewel Loom. They do not say Bellicon. So I don't want you getting upset with me because that's not what you're getting. Okay, I'm going to use, so there's 3 sizes. So there's a large, there's a medium, and there is a small. And I'm going to be using the small tassel maker. And I pre-cut some yarn. All right. Now, this is going to incorporate, remember how I added fibers to your kit this time? So here's the deal with the fibers. These are gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fibers that I get from a company that I just love. It's the Merino. There's also like this really funky gold green color in your kit. And you're like, why? Because I can and I want to share the love with you. But really, you can do a lot of really cool, unique things with them. And so I'm going to use the fiber along with my yarn. And what I do is I have the stencil, the tassel. All the dogs are barking. I don't know if you can hear that. And the merino wool. Yep. So normally what people would do, right, is they would take all of this yummy fiber and then they spin it. And I still in my lifetime want to do that, but not today. So I just love weaving with it. I love doing our cuffs with it. I think it just adds a really incredible, unique touch to your pieces. Okay. So Joan wants to spin. All right. So I've got the yarn and this is the end piece right there. And I'm just letting it lay on the tassel maker. And then I'm going to transfer, right? So now I'm going to hold it with my thumb and I'm going to start to bring the end up and over. And I'm just wrapping. Okay. And then at some point, if I want to take some of my fiber, and we'll just kind of like lay that in there for giggles. Okay, so we're just going to lay that in there. And we can kind of bunch. We can bunch this up. You don't have to be, this does not have to be like some clean situation. All right. So then we're just going to come up and over. It's almost like we're spinning a tassel, you know, like we're going to put a twist on this idea. And then let's just bring some more over. I can't get enough of this stuff. I'm a little a little crazy about it. All right, so then we'll just put some more in here. Now you can weave this, you know, if you wanted to weave it into a bracelet. Oh my God, these dogs are killing me. And then we're just going to bring that. And then that's going to be my backside. Okay. So I've got my little tassel maker all delicious with yarn and some fibers. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Let me hold that thought. And if I forget that thought, remind me. Okay. So I'm just going to take the scissors and I'm coming down here at the bottom and I'm just going to kind of wiggle my way in. Actually, I got to come from this direction because I'm right-handed. Okay. So I just cut the bottom. This isn't science. It's not like rocket ship type of like, you know, so just be cool with it. And then I'm going to grab all of that. And I'm going to bunch it up. And of course, I thought I had cut enough, dang it. Hold that thought. All right. I remember saying to myself, leave a little extra to tie with. So I'm just going to cut some more off and really quickly. So I just got to have it like bunched up right here. And then I'm just going to take this extra piece and let me just do it down here on the table because I'm not going to pretend I can do it in the air. All right. So that's just kind of like my first little knot. And I think I just got it a little uneven. So let me clean that mess up. So you just kind of have fun, you know, getting it all to where you want it. But this is like the small. You can come back and you can trim that. That's a little long. Okay. And so then you can see the fun. Now, if you wanted to, right? So you can come in here with your scissors. And then we'll just, I should have been a stylist, a hairstylist. Give me your head of hair. Okay, so we just have like this really fun, funky little thing, right? So then 2 ideas, all right, because that's cool, but come on now. We need a come on now. When I was first playing around the other day, what came to me was, oh, how cool. Take one of the buttons and then attach it, right? And then on this one, I just put some beads on a head pin and then I snuck it in under the button. So I kind of have like this really cool little goddess, you know, with her little roped piece here hanging down. And I could definitely color her in and do some resin or Mod Podge if I want. So what's the deal with this? So again, I'm just thinking, you know, if you are packaging, if you're making jewelry, it's always so fun to receive like a little free something. And what an inexpensive way, a package topper, something that could go on a card. Like, look at this friendship card, right? Like, this is a friendship card. And I mean, you could even tuck it in as a gift. Like, that would be super cool, right? Or it could actually be planted, you know, on some cardstock. I mean, so many, yeah, so many cool ideas, right? There's just so many things to do. And again, you know, we're normally taking the kits from the Creative Soul Collection and we're weaving, which we do. But I also really wanted to make sure that you knew that you could do other things. Like, you know, you could put the beads on the head pins and you could make tassels. So with the one that I just made, I got to get this out of the way. So I made this cute, you know, here's an example. Just here's a cute little head pin with the beads from the collection. And yep, I left my jewel loop open. You can make a brooch. Yeah, totally. See, there you go. That's what I want you to think. I want you to like think out of the box because there's just so many cool things. So I'm just attaching this to the tie there, but look at how, oh my God, it's so cute. Look at, okay, seriously, you could do a bazillion of these and decorate your Christmas tree. Come on now. Where's Robin for the come on nows? So super fun, cute little ideas of what you can do with the collection. You know, like if you're just like, hey, Jules, I definitely am going to, you know, weave something. You can weave your rings. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to go make a ring last night and realize there's not an 8-0 in this place. How did that happen? I got 11 O's everywhere and I don't have any 8-0s. Oh, Jenny's giving me a come on now. I love it. So we got cool tassels. You could use, oh, here, sorry. I did use the owl button. So it just kind of did like this real funky, like, you know how much I love this material I picked up at Michael's. Like every time I go there, I just buy another skein. And then I just put the button on. This is the button not colored, but you could certainly do that as well. And then you could see the fibers. It's just very boho, very organic. I just love it. I love the idea of the tassels. I think they're a very simple, very economical way to create things, either as gifts, things that you're going to sell. And what I was going to say is, yeah, I go to Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. I have a small yarn shop in Ojai, but it's a very high-end product. And so you could go to a retailer, you could go to an independent yarn shop, you could go to the thrift store, right? You just need to make sure that it's obviously clean. But many times people are cleaning out their homes and they've got like a plethora of yarn. Some of the best ribbon yarn button finds, right, are at like your local thrift store. So you could totally do that. I ask friends for leftover yarn. See, there's so a very, very economical way to just take a few beads, make a cute little head pin assortment, add one of your jewel loom buttons if you so desire, you know, add your fibers. They're just really fun. I really love them. And so I think it's a great idea. So there's the tassels. You know, we got the pendants. We've got the pendants. And I love, love, love this one too. Really funky. My little Gibson girl lantern. I could just see her walking with her lantern, right? Put my hair up. I'd be that Gibson girl. And okay, what else did I want to tell you? I'm just so excited. I get excited. All right. What I wanted to say was holy cow. And let me just scooch this over without spilling anything. I mean, come on now. Look at everything that's still left. This is everything that's still left from mine. I mean, it's crazy. This was 17 strands of check glass beads, a bag full of porcelain beads, the owl earrings, the owl buttons, some findings, the fibers. The fibers, I tell you, the fibers are in the kit, okay? And come on now, a cookie and a tea bag. But really, in all honesty, I really, really, really do work at getting a lot of really great quality items into the kits. And if I'm being really honest, I'm looking over at the months that are coming up. I actually scored so well that for you, I think we're going to get through like probably August with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Now we do have Papa Joe Hat Band kit in May, and I gave Joan a sneak peek. And even Joan said that it was to die for. So I'm going to let Joan come on now because I had asked her if she would share her finished pieces. And so Joan's going to come on and she's going to share with you what she did. Joan and I have been having, Joan, you could get rid of my overhead if you want.
You'll have to get rid of it.
Okay.
If you want to take it off, because there's no way.
Huh. It won't say, oh, remove. Okay.
Okay.
Joan and I have been talking a lot about the kids, and, you know, really quick here, you know, they were born because Creative Soul was born out of the desire to help people learn how to weave. And so that I could share project ideas and ways to use the plethora of looms, right? Mostly the original jewel loom. But as you can see, Mama likes to birth loom. Okay. Mostly the original jewel loom. But Joan and I have talked a lot about like, okay, what if a person doesn't use a loom? And we've got these beautiful Creative Soul kits, and we have this amazing Creative Soul community. How do we start letting people know? Because I'm not a shop that carries all the findings and all the this and all of the that. Okay. I love curating gifts. I love curating these boxes. I love putting them all like fine chocolates. I love putting in the box for you. And so Joan was really passionate about trying to help me figure out how can we attract other jewelry type makers. And Joan, you knocked it out of the flippin' park. I'm so inspired by you. I'm so grateful to you. I'm going to let you speak and you show off your pieces.
Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. You got to look at my piece instead of me.
Why don't you get rid of me and you take over? Here, I'll just remove myself for now.
Let me move I just knocked over my camera. Sorry about that.
Don't be, you're excited. All right, let me get rid of myself.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm sorry. This is, I didn't realize my cords are wrapped everywhere.
Oh my God, you were so stinking cute.
Okay. So this is my necklace, and I did I still have to do the coating, but I did the owl like Jules. I just fell in love with it. And yeah. I used leather up here.
Oh.
And attach it to the ring. And I just used artistic wire to hold it in place, but I used a large hole bead to hide the ends.
Oh.
So, you know, I just folded it over through the ring and folded over through the ring and wrapped artistic wire 3 or 4 times. When I was wrapping, I would tighten it up with a pair of flat nose pliers. So, and then this is knotting. It's 3 knots in between each bead. And in this case, I've always wanted to try waxed Irish linen. So that's what I'm using here. And it is 0.7 millimeters thick. And to be honest with you, to get it through, you need to use what they call a leadered needle. So I think I'm going to do a short tutorial on that so you can see what I mean by a leadered needle, because it made a world of difference. I couldn't just string it through there. And then I chain, and then this one actually is 3 strands of that wax stylish linen, which you can use whatever cord you want to. And then I was looking for something brown, to go with the wooded theme. And the charms are hanging from, I made loops on the top. And then I just my brain's not thinking clearly. I braided it and put these in between, and then also in between the braids, I put a bead on one strand. And so I braid like 6 steps, put some, leaf on, 6 steps, put a bead on. At the top, I put 3 beads and 3 beads. And then my earrings, I made them so when they hung, let's see if I can get them to quit moving. When they hung, they'd be facing forward. So that's why I can't throw it, because it'd be sideways if I showed the front of the thing. So what I did is I just took like 3 links of a chain, or in this case, 1 link of a chain. And then I hung a bead off. I put 5 links of a chain because I was measuring against it, and put another heart bead on, and then 9 links of a chain heart bead. But it really depends on the size of the links. And then I put it on a bigger jump ring, and then hooked it to my ear wire. And then the bracelet, since we had pinch beads in the kit, Neely likes using pinch beads in his hollow mesh, so that's what gave me the idea. So I just got out some hollow mesh, with the wood theme, and I put the green pinch beads in it. And then the second strand is beading wire. And speaking of which, if you have a 1-step looper, don't use it with these leaves, because I thought, I'll take a shortcut. I'll use 1-step looper. I broke 4 leaves, no matter how careful I was. So I did it by hand. I don't know if it just tightens it up. You don't want to break your leaves. And I ended up and then I just hooked all 3 to, I didn't have any closed rings. So I made my own by making wire wrap loops and put a bead in it, because I didn't have guardian wire, and I didn't want any of these wires to slip out of the jump ring hole. So that's pretty much what I did with those.
Wow. I'm just sitting here like my mind is so blown. I'm so proud of you. We can't see your beautiful face though, because you're
okay, because of the camera mix up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We've always wanted to get ahead of the ball game, and it's been hard. And so this time it was like all this stuff came in. Thank God for my mom, because really she busted her butt getting everything prepackaged through, like I said, at least July. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I could like totally get these to Joan and see what she births. And you did not disappoint, Mama. You did not disappoint. You have really inspired and really made a lot of people happy. I hope you go back and look at all the comments. And so even Lori says, I've been making some multi-strand jewelry. Love it, Joan.
Oh, thank you.
Caroline says they're fabulous, fabulous. And of course, Maria. And it's just true. Like, it's really great to be able to see the versatility of these kits. We can do our bead weaving. If you choose, you can make tassels, which are in, the gift category, the paper crafting category. Our pendants, which cover the jewelry, the earrings. There's just so many different things. These cute little tassels, if you made them any smaller, like maybe with a small one, you could almost like do some really fun little cozies for your stemware.
Well,
you know?
I was just thinking, I don't know if I would mail it, but if you want to make a with those little heart beads, or one of some of the other flatter beads, you could
Yeah.
maybe take some green wire, make some stems or something, and make like little flowers with them, and glue them onto
Oh,
cardstock or something for a card. I mean, there's all
girlfriend.
different things you can do that's outside of the bead world.
Yeah, no, there are so many different things, and I'm just so grateful to you for showing that the March Creative Soul, it's a hoot kit. Can really be utilized in a plethora of creativity. And so we really want to communicate that. And I really just, I'm going to high five you right here. High five.
It doesn't work. We need to go side to side.
Do we
There.
got?
No, this way.
Oh,
No, you go the other way.
I go this way.
Well, I don't know. I'm on the left side and you're on the right side on my screen.
Oh my God. Seriously.
We need to practice
Seriously.
that.
Oh, Nilda, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to do that. Nilda, I'm so happy you're here. I really hope, like, Nilda, I had you in my mind, like when we were emailing, and Nilda had some really great questions. And I think that Joan was able to identify a lot of the beads. And so she may be able to help you better than I was able to, because I felt so bad. But Nilda was asking about the different styles, basically. And so anyway, Nilda, I'm so happy you're here. Claire, I believe Claire was in here earlier, and I just want to give a shout out. I did get your message of you and your granddaughter. Claire is oh, how come I just went Ireland? Claire is French. Claire is French, and I'm speaking Irish. Can you speak Irish? Anyway, adorable picture of her and her granddaughter beading, and that was so lovely. And I'm just trying to think. I know, it's too funny.
Portuguese
Too
would be
funny.
a little bit closer to French than Irish would be.
I know.
I mean, I'm not
Well,
saying it is the same. I'm just saying it'd be a little bit closer.
well, I'm just saying, oh, Portuguese to French.
I'm saying you'd be a little bit closer to French by using Portuguese accent than you would an Irish accent, even though
That
it's
was,
still not the same.
yeah. I can go Latina like really quick. I can do my Portuguese Latina, but that was funny that I just like did Irish. Well, it was just St. Patty's Day. We're working with a plethora of greens, and I do think my mom has Irish in her, in addition to being Chickasaw Choctaw Native American. I don't know if you all know that, but my grandma, her mom's mom, I'm sure my aunts will correct me if I'm wrong, but was she full? And then my grandma was half. I don't know, like goes down. I don't know. I'm a 1/18th or something.
Of what?
So, but of Chickasaw Choctaw. And so, duh, that I would be a weaver. Right? So cool. So,
Yeah.
and Jerry's high fiving. Everyone's high fiving. I love it. Okay, it's 5:03. And there's Claire. Yeah,
Okay,
Claire
yeah,
said,
you gotta get going.
yeah, but you're French, right? Because you said, oh, for the love, what did you say? That was French. You said bonjour. I think you said bonjour. And I think you're French. Are you French?
It looks like a French name.
Yeah, she's adorable. Adorable picture that she sent of her and her granddaughter. And so, anyway, we just have a fun time here, and I appreciate everyone coming on and watching. We so appreciate it when you subscribe, and we love it when you like something. And we're just sending you chocolate sparkle kisses when you share the channel. And so we appreciate you so very much. Oh my God, we just did a live without David. David was, I don't know. I just realized David was not anywhere in the chat. So David, if you watch this on replay, we missed you. Deborah just came into the house and she said, try Irish with a Texas accent. That's a very sexy proposition.
I want to hear that one.
Yeah, I'm going to work on it. Mama will be working on that one. So anyway, hey, Bunko is tonight. So the dice are in the house. I'm in charge of chips and dip. So I did the my favorite Trader Joe's spinach artichoke thingy that is in
Oh,
the
I
freezer
love that.
section. Very popular with some pita chips, and I did some Trader Joe blue chips with some salsa. I think I did good. Did I do good? I think I did fine. So I'm always nervous. I don't know why. Oh my God. Are these right? So anyway, so that's Bunko tonight. Hey, listen, I leave for NAMTA. Do you want to see my finished piece?
Yeah, show them.
Okay. So it went in a whole different direction because remember it was neutral and I had made this beautiful piece on the large goddess. And then it went in a different direction and I reached out to Robert. I said, you got to save my butt because I done screwed up and I need you to make more of those eyes, those Wisdom Warrior eyes. And it's a good thing because we totally didn't think the jewel loom wasn't even on there. So it all worked out for the good. I love it. I'm hand carrying it. Nobody better take it away from me at the airport. I'm going to be really mad. All right, here we go. It's total Mardi Gras.
Wow.
Total Mardi Gras. So this is the letter I for creativation. Does it get closer, Joan, if you just have me on for a sec?
Yeah, we don't need me on the air anymore.
Oh, oh, there we go.
I didn't mean to bite that way.
So I was in charge of doing the letter I for creativation for the NAMTA Association trade show in New Orleans. I leave on Saturday. I'm hand carrying my I, and I'm just going to come up a little closer. Look at the detail. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous piece that I made on the original blue jewel loom. I also wanted to do what ended up being, remember these guys? I made them on the earring loom. So there's two of them and I wanted it to be like a watch, like a pocket watch, right? So it's coming out of the pocket down here. And then I couldn't help but add the owl because it's just so stinking cute for the wisdom. And so, yeah. What do you think? It's a oh wow for sure.
I love it.
Several months, and then it all kind of like transitioned at the last minute into a different color wave, basically, is what happened. I told Robert that maybe people would want to do a workshop, that maybe we could get things smaller. And, maybe we could actually do like a similar workshop. I think that would be fun. Okay. Oh my God. All right. It's heavy. I can't believe I'm going to carry it. Oh, well. It's only there. I don't have to bring it back. Strong. All right. I love you guys. Joan, thank you 1,000 times. Thank you for watching. I will definitely be reporting in from the show. I'm definitely going to be taking lots of video. I'll go live as often as I can. We have one event after the next. I land at 1:30 on Saturday and we go to the hotel, we freshen up, and then we're off to the show where there's like a big manufacturers event where we're going to be able to learn about a lot of new products. And we have a huge designer dinner that night. The next day, I'm taking a class with Tammy Hahnemann, which I'm super stoked about.
Oh, wow.
I'm also taking a class with Sizzix die cutting. And who knows what else is going to happen on Sunday. And then the show starts on Monday. And I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be hanging out with the guys, again, the glue company. And so, yeah. And I'm just going to be looking for like a lot of really cool stuff to share and possibly use. And I'm just super stinking stoked. So I will be reporting in. And and I will have you with me. I'll have you with me. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Joan, thank you again. And we'll see you next Thursday. I'll be back. Maybe it'll just be a show and tell because I'll be tired.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. Okay. All right. Love y'all.